everybody, and we are live with the Gregg Open Double Elimination Stage Round 1 review, and then the Round 2 preview. It's me, Colonel JJ, and alongside me, well, not literally alongside me, actually all the way across the globe alongside me is Mr. BoIt.
If I could be alongside you in person, I would.
Doesn't everybody?
Appeals for donations so I can fly to the States and hang out with Chrono JJ.
Man, it would be a good time, though. I don't know if my wife would tolerate, but we do have an extra bedroom downstairs. All right. So yeah, what we've got for you guys is we'll review each of the matches in the first stage or first round of the double elimination, and then we will move on and preview our round 2 matchups as well as revealing the map sets. So I think we should have a good little show for you guys tonight. Maybe make it last, we'll stretch it out to 30 minutes, get all those advertisement dollars. Actually, we don't get any, but we'll pretend like we do. This is like the Super Bowl of Age of Mythology. So anyway, can you turn the volume down just a bit in the background? I can hear myself.
Yeah.
So if you got my stream up, BoIt will be moving from screen to screen over here, and the first matchup that we'll go over from the round 1 will be Player versus Hells, which happened earlier. This is, by the way, spoiler alert for people that are behind. You might want to watch, but spoiler alert. So we'll move right into Player versus Hells. That was our last matchup of by chronological that was played in the first round, and it was a bit of a shellacking. Whew. I got the pleasure of streaming this, and I got the pleasure of watching a player just dominate in the first 2 games. The third game, though, it was a good game and very close. But what do you think of the 3-0 that player had over Hellsravage?
I think there is no surprises here. I think Hell's he's just not what he used to be. He's actually been. This is kind of the stage of the tournaments he's always got to. He's always kind of got top 8 and then gets kicked out by one of the eventual winners, like Magyar or somebody of that stature in the past. So, not saying players Magyar, but he's our top seed. So no surprises.
Yeah, I guess I was the only I wasn't surprised to see player win. I was surprised, especially with the first 2 games, of how easily player won. Like that moat game was like an 11-minute, and Anatolia was slightly longer, but again, that was never in doubt. Now the this game 3 was the spotlight match. It was a slugfest on Tundra between Zeus and Odin, and it was a game that Hell's had chances in. But what I found remarkable is that even though player was behind for a good portion of the game, he was still on the aggression. A little bit behind, but he kept Hell's busy enough for that mid to late game Zeus train to get rolling, and then Hell's got himself late game gold, not even late game, 20-minute gold blocked, and that was kind of that.
Very tough.
Who's on the motorcycle outside your house? Man, I love the traffic in the background.
I can try and get on top of muting my Discord when that happens.
I like it. But yes,
I live on a main road, so
okay. But yeah, so that was on Player versus Hells. It was an interesting matchup to watch. Player really dismantled Hells, and Player looking like the number 1 seed that he was seeded. Hello, Eric. Good to have you on board. We'll move on to the next matchup, unless you got anything else to say about Player and Hellsravage.
No.
All right, we'll move on to the next one that happened. Was Skady versus Brickhead. And I believe that was one that you streamed, correct? And we've got now that matchup and results on our screen. Now
this was a very, I think it was a very close affair regardless of the 3-0. And
Okay.
I think Brickhead did not play at his true level or at the highest level he's shown that he can play in these games. Like doing things like forgetting to wall vital choke points, and then just like losing on timing pushes and things like that really hurt him in these games, and some really small mistakes
Okay.
made it difficult. And then some really unfortunate maps on the tundra and painted desert, where tundra you didn't have a second gold mine that was easy to secure, and painted desert he didn't have a home gold mine which was easy to secure. So he just gets a little bit unlucky there.
Yeah, Zeus Field, and it's tough to get to those gold mines. Did Skady end up like going up with like a restoration push on the gold mines then, or what happened?
On the tundra map, it was Hermes play,
Okay.
and and it was pretty close. I mean, I think what ended up happening was Brickhead had to trade villages to stay in the game, and or trade
Mm,
villages for like in the fights while he was trying to win fights. And then
yeah.
he ended up having like a pretty strong pop army but no economy, and Skady could just just get the trades, and every trade he gets is worth so much more because his economy was so much better. Um, and then the painted desert game was just a straight Athena rush, which I don't think there was very much chance in that game for Brickhead to win. But against
Uh,
the set on Marsh, I think that one was thrown a little bit by Brickhead.
was it? Okay. I'm looking
Yeah,
at it was about a 15.5 minute game, which isn't super
yeah.
long, but
Yeah, it was the perfect situation you want. Set goes one town center, double racks, and Nubites. The Nubites did nothing,
hmm.
and he lost to a ancestors push with racks units, and he wasted his frost on some random spears.
Ah, it
So he's
sucks.
in that. I played that position a million times against Odin, and if you just don't waste your frost, you win through Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Um, and
Oh, that's too
yeah,
bad.
he just stuffed up basically.
Yeah, I thought Skady would win. I think Skady matches up well against Brickhead. But didn't think it would be a 3-0. I thought Brickhead would pick off a game or two
Yeah.
there. But yeah, well, yes, I did watch the Super Bowl, Sicario. And Eric BR, for Double Elim, the way it works is yes, the winner of the losers bracket will end up playing the winner of the winners bracket. So yes, you can lose one series and still win. We are still kind of thinking about. We'll figure it out pretty soon about like will the winner of the winners bracket get an advantage in the last series or what exactly we'll do with that. We're not sure yet, but we'll get it figured out hopefully by the end of this week because it would be good so players can know. Um, but yeah, anything else about Skady v Brickhead you got to talk about there?
No, other than the next matchup, as we can see, is going to be a player versus Skady.
It will be.
So
Well, we'll get in. You're jumping
very
ahead. We're
so,
gonna keep on with a
well, I'm
review.
just saying we've done those two, and you can figure it out. We're going chronologically through it all. So
Yeah. Yeah, no YouTube waste of life because I'll end up uploading this later. This kind of just is like a spoiler for the YouTube channel because generally I'm behind on the YouTube, so I won't just do Twitch. But anyway, the next matchup, Shclty versus matrciuss, which was not a sweep. It was a 3-1 victory, but was actually a 3-1 victory by the lower seed. So this is kind of one of our primary upsets, I guess you could say, of the entire tournament. Really, I mean, outside of maybe a couple strange results early on, but the 7 seed beat the number 2 seed Shclty, and I believe you streamed these games as well, didn't you?
yeah, I managed to catch these ones.
Okay, so I'm always interested to watch. People always like to say that Kronos on meta is kind of broken. Um, I see that Kronos lost, so what happened there on the meta game?
I don't I see how this matchup is at all Kronos favored,
Now, some people
just
say it
because you have
is.
access to ceasefire, and You just have to play around deconstruction, which matrciuss did. And in the end of it, Shclty got no advantage for being Kronos in this match. You watch the game; it's basically just it's just like Shclty is Uranus,
Mm.
except with less fast units, basically.
Did
And
he did he time shift
yeah,
his temple forward?
yeah, he did. He did. Got graded with a hero, and I think them. I don't even think I can't remember. I don't even think matrciuss used ceasefire.
Oh yeah,
Um,
if you can't even get the ceasefire out with the early aggression, then it's not gonna work.
yeah, yeah. I think he just like matrciuss is just so good with Poseidon. He's played this matchup a million times,
Mm.
and the standard stuff just doesn't work against someone who knows what the standard stuff is, because you're not gonna not attempt to counter the standard stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, looking at the maps, the god set here, I'm kind of surprised he wouldn't have gone like maybe an Egyptian on Medit or something. But
Yeah.
Kronos just seems like kind of an off god, kind of like a low chance, but kind of like a cheese, like trying to pull out like a cheese win, which doesn't seem to me to work very well against top players.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of gods which actually would have had an advantage over matrciuss, over Poseidon here, and
Uh,
really the only god I can think of that functions better than Poseidon on Mediterranean, it's got to be Zeus. And maybe Shclty didn't feel comfortable playing Greek.
mm.
It's
now,
my only thought there.
now Loki Logos in the chat did say, I think reference to, I think he's saying that matrciuss did use ceasefire maybe.
Oh, maybe
Um,
maybe you did. Either way, it completely removes the aggression that, or
as
the
long
early advantage that Cronus has.
as long as you can just build up enough of an army in that minute, then you're fine. But then we saw matrciuss switch to Zeus on Ghost Lake, and then lost for his efforts there against Odin.
Yeah.
I wonder what the thinking of Zeus was there on Ghost Lake.
Well, maybe the thinking is potentially get a one gold mine, a high hunt, Ghost Lake, Athena Rush. Hermes works really well if you get on Ghost Lake, because it's hard to wall up as well, because you can just pump out a Centaur, and Odin has no response to Centaur until he gets to the heroic age.
Did he go
But this, yeah, he
Hermes?
went, he went, he went Hermes. It was a two gold mine Ghost Lake. Super, super close game, very entertaining.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and I think it was just a little bit of Zeus experience in the
Yeah.
end. I mean, Shclty played it really well, so that is also a thing.
Okay. Okay. And then we've got the last two
Probably,
matchups. Oh,
I
sorry.
mean, I haven't seen all the games yet, but that's probably match of the round. That Ghost Lake game, I think.
Okay. Alrighty.
Yeah.
And then the next two games, I kind of think that maybe Odin doesn't match up that poorly against Poseidon. I think it's a decent matchup, especially on Savannah. But how
Mm.
did that game go?
Yeah, we just didn't see Shclty abuse the Ulfsock. He went raiding cavalry, I think,
Hmm.
and his army just was not strong enough in the end. And I think there was some really close games here as well from memory. And
It's like 2 days
yeah,
ago, man.
man,
Remember.
there's been so much stuff going on. I cannot remember this Savannah game to save my life.
Re-
I think it ended with an earthquake and
okay.
Chimera.
Reaching
Yeah.
back all the
Yeah.
way to 2 days ago. You can't keep up, Greek. You've been binging all these vids. There have been a lot of videos between me, BoIt, and Blackadder too, streaming a lot. And then, but anyway, that last game, then Blue Lagoon Oranos into Poseidon. I feel like Oranos can also do decently against Poseidon too. What happened there?
Well, this I basically have seen this game that they played before,
Huh?
Uranus versus Poseidon on Marsh, except it was Green Sea Squash playing matrciuss,
Okay.
and matrciuss did a Ares rush with Cyclops, double military academy, or sorry, military academy stable, and there is nothing standard Uranus can do to stop them if their gold mine is exposed. And the gold mine was exposed, and it was just like a complete slaughter fest. It was
Huh.
disgusting.
Cool. Well, it's. I may be biased, but I always enjoy seeing Aranos on the receiving end of a slaughtering.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think had Shclty scouted the Ford Temple, or like realized that this is
It's
what
coming.
matrciuss might do,
Yeah.
and did a 4 minute advance time with like early valor onto, and actually like did some harass with the Oracle heroes. He could have delayed the attack enough to get some units out.
Yeah.
But the issue is advancing at 4:30
Too
when
slow.
matrciuss was up at 4:20 meant that he
Hmm.
had a Cyclops and Theseus and Hippolyta on his base by the time he had units out. So he couldn't defend anything. He couldn't hunt
Okay.
or any of that other stuff. And it was just ouchy.
Yeah, well, sounds like a fun game to watch later on. Then Greek is talking about how he's way behind on his games, but he wants me to tell you that he loves you.
I love you as well, Greek. Appreciate your existence.
But all right, well, let's move on to our last of the first round matchups. That was Joe versus Kimo. Now here, I was expecting like a 3 hour long slugfest, mercenaries everywhere, and never ending games. And instead, it was like three of the shortest games. Like, it was like the shortest 5 game series, like, ever. Like, Joe just absolutely demolished Kimo, which was a surprise to me because Kimo's good.
Kimo's very good. I was talking with Joe beforehand about, and also Shclty, about players they didn't really want to run into in this tournament, and they both mentioned Kimo. And now they both get to play. They both have played or get to play Kimo. So,
Yeah,
but
like,
Joe just, I mean, Joe's really good. What more to say? I haven't seen the games, but he's really good.
yeah, well, he is good, but so is Kimo. Like, and I'm talking like when I'm talking demolishments. I mean, what are we looking at here? We're looking at like 20 minutes, 13 minutes, and 10 minutes. Like that's
Mm.
some slaughtering right
Yeah, I
there.
guess here's the thing. I reckon Kimo did not look at lumber camp once.
Mm, probably not.
I reckon, I reckon Anatolia Joe has on lock. He's
Yeah,
just like, that's the ISIS map. He's ISIS main. He knows exactly how to
hmm
win and what to do. This is just me, like, without even watching the games. And the Marsh game, was you say that was the 20-minute game on Marsh? Was that the really
uh,
short one?
that's the really short one. It looks like 10 minutes, 10 and a half minutes. I didn't happen to get a chance
Right.
to see it.
I have no idea what happened there. That'd be super interesting to see how that went down.
I'm guessing maybe Joe probably advanced faster, and I don't know. This is just hypotheticals, but Joe probably got the faster advance and pushed Chemo back or something.
Yeah, super bizarre because normally we see these set wars on Marsh just go into like 3 town center grab,
Yeah,
and it ends up being like a really late game. So maybe Joe saw an option for a 1 town center like aggressive push kind
yeah,
of thing.
huh? But yeah, I was. This was to me probably the surprise. I mean, the other results, even though matrciuss upset Shclty, that's not. I guess not super surprising because matrciuss is playing really well, but this the shortness of these games and the 3-0 that probably for me the most surprising of the 4 matches.
Yeah, yeah. That's very true. And you expect people to like also hang in the games for longer, but I guess if you've got that ranked mindset, that 1v1 ranked mindset, you start leaving games a little bit early when you might not actually have lost the game,
Well,
and you might be able to make a comeback.
well,
Kind of defeatist attitude. If you're not winning, there's no way for you to win, kind of thing.
but anyway, those are the first round games, and now we're going to move on to the round two preview along with the map reveals for everybody. So let's, I got to just ordered a few things around on my screen, and we will get moving right on to our second round matchups here. So let's see. Okay, I think. Hold on.
You got one result wrong there.
I
That
do?
matrciuss defeated Shclty 3-1.
Oh, dang it, you're right.
That's okay. We can fix that one easy.
Yes. Okay, and now let me get in our first matchup here of the second round. As long as we can get this right. Hold on. Not Shclty versus matrciuss, but player number 1 versus Skady, number 4. This might be some Zeus matchups. Player will be going Greek for sure. Skady, we could Zeus, Uranus, probably most likely. But let's get their maps set up here. So the first set of maps to reveal player versus Skady will be Marsh, Lumber Camp, Savannah, Watering Hole, and Tundra will be their set of maps.
Oh, this one's a bit unlucky for player, don't you think? Like, I mean, doesn't get any of those juicy water maps. Gets lumber camp,
Yeah, Lumber Camp,
but
the jury is out. We don't know yet
it's
if
not now.
it's.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like a Zeus favored map at all. Um, I've got no idea, to be honest, who it favors.
I don't
You've
know.
also got like that watering hole map, super defensive. Skady would probably maybe roll out, like decide to go with set there or something like that. Um,
I could see
Potentially
player
see
doing
some
well
wall smash. Yeah.
on Marsh and Watering Hole for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see player doing
Or
well every game because he's so good.
we could also just see Skady just try and match up with player Zeus and go Zeus the entire series.
I don't know how that'd work out. And
No
no,
idea, man. No idea.
and no, Eric, their game has not been scheduled. So these games will all. Now we're on the upcoming. These are the round two preview. Player versus Skady. Hard to go against player, but Skady's been playing well too. But I mean, player so far has not lost a game this tournament. Has Skady lost a game though?
Um,
I don't know if he
I'm
has.
gonna go with no.
Let me see. I don't think Skady is lost. Let's see. Skady. No. No.
3-3
Nope.
Machiavelli.
Nope.
Yeah, no losses.
No losses. All right. So we've got two undefeateds playing here. Not a single game has been dropped of the two of them. So, wow. Interesting. Whew. Well, let's move on then to our next set of maps, and a matchup here will be our other winners bracket. Will be the 7th seed matrciuss after he upset Shclty. Will play against Shclty's clanmate Joe, the 3rd seed. Whew, and our maps for this series will be. I didn't even know these. Oh wow. These are all land maps and pretty aggressive ones.
Yeah, if you're
Man,
matrciuss, you are happy right now. You are so very happy.
man, not a single water map that we've got. Savannah, Painted Desert, Frozen Waste, Tundra, and then Fields of Punishment. Whew.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Joe not pick Egyptian on some of these maps. I would not be surprised at all.
And when he wakes up in the morning, he might not be happy with what he sees.
I mean, he could have given you a donation. You
He
know, we said donations are acceptable.
Maybe he did, and matrciuss just outbid him.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, you'd assume matrciuss would be going Poseidon, and Joe likely an Egyptian, but aren't exactly Egyptian maps here. Um, we'll see. I know Joe doesn't like the state of ISIS these days, so I don't think we would see him going ISIS. Nor does he like the state of Set, and he doesn't really play Ra normally. So yeah, these will be. I think it'll be tough for Joe, given these maps.
Mm. I think we're either going to see Joe go Set or Zeus here. To be honest,
I
no,
haven't ever seen him play Zeus. Does he got it? That's what Loki's saying
yeah,
in the chat.
he has a Zeus.
Okay,
He
but
has a Zeus.
can
It's
it
just not
can it
his.
beat
Obviously not
Poseidon?
his ability.
Can it beat
I don't know.
matrciuss' Poseidon? I don't know that either. Matrix has beaten a lot of people.
Not
Um,
real good.
hmm Now I do believe that both of Matrix has dropped a couple games. Has Joe dropped any games yet this tournament? 3-0, 3-0. No, he hasn't either. So Joe is also undefeated. Hasn't dropped a single game. matrciuss, I think, dropped just maybe one or
Matt
just
dropped
one.
against Shclty.
And
If
Fox was a really close
yeah,
series.
Fox.
And
Yeah.
Nolgath. So he's actually lost at least one game every series, but just keeps winning. So
matrciuss has had a hard run.
hey, as long as you keep winning. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think this will be a pretty cool series to watch. We'll see how Joe troubleshoots these maps. But let's
Yeah.
move on to our next matchup. Now we're moving on to the bottom half of the losers bracket, the ninth seed Hellsravage. After now we're getting to some people that got pummeled in the first round, and will probably be looking to kind of redeem themselves. But these will be, I mean, you can't have two players in one match redeem themselves. So each of these matchups will result in one person being eliminated from the series. And our set of maps for this will be Oasis, Drenched River, Alfheim, Ghost Lake, and then finally a water map, Midgard. What we might see,
Yes.
I mean, well, definitely, think we'd see Norse slash Odin from Brickhead. Would we see Odin from Hells, or do you think he'd go Greek or Oranos? Probably not Oranos, because versus
I
Odin.
reckon we might see the Uranus on Oasis. That's one map which I don't think Odin is favored against Uranus on.
Okay.
Drenched River, I expect to see Set from Hells or Odin himself, but probably Set because he's expecting to see Odin. Alfheim maybe another potential Uranus map where you might want to save your veto for it. 'Cause if you can get a low hunt Alfheim,
Yeah.
it plays out a lot like the Oasis map. So we could
Yeah,
do,
it
but
can.
maybe he just goes Zeus as well and just tries to play the counter civ with Zeus to shred through Odin. I don't know.
Yeah.
These random god players, man, you never know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, you don't. And even Brickhead has played a little bit of Greek in this tournament too. Though that's
Yeah.
definitely not his main, but he's done that some. But yeah, I think both these players definitely, after losing the way they did, especially Hellsravage, who I'm sure felt like he could have played better. They'd like to not lose and then lose again and then be done. But somebody's got to go home.
Mm, yeah.
Uh,
And also the winner of those losers rounds. I mean, well, if you lose those rounds, you get stuck at that
mm-hmm.
amount of prize money that you get for coming in eighth. But if you get through to the losers round two, you do get
A little bit
the
more.
next tier of prize. So
A
it's
little, few more
and you're
dollars.
gonna walk away with some deep pockets here.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. yeah, prizes are guaranteed. That's for sure. They cannot go lower. We'll put it that way. We could potentially bump a few prizes here and there, but won't go lower. So don't worry. This isn't another tournament where prizes are the initial prize pool can be whatever at the end. You never know. That's not the way it is here. So yeah, we will have guaranteed prizes for all, unless somebody gets themselves kicked out of the tournament. Then, well, hope nobody gets kicked out. But yeah, so Lon 27, thanks for the follow. Anything else to say about this match, or should we move on to the last one?
Let's get it going.
Alrighty, so our last series will be Shclty, who of all of these losers was the only one to actually win a game in the first round of the um, round or the double elim, and then Kimo, who found himself utterly demolished by Joe, and I'm sure he did not like that. So, will he come back and exact his revenge on Shclty on these maps here, which are really a colorful? I mean, look at all the different colors here. I mean, this is,
Oh,
man, look at them. But a lot of different maps too. We've got Anatolia, Watering Hole, and then Arctic Craters, which is, I think, a really cool map, and then Blue Lagoon and Marsh. I mean, kind of tends to be higher hunt on the land maps for all of them. But Watering a little more defensive. Arctic Craters pretty aggressive. Blue Lagoon is kind of medium, and then Marsh is just hunt everywhere. But what do you think? Kimo probably going Egyptian, and Shclty, I don't know.
yeah. Egyptian for Anatolia and Watering Hole, definite for Chemo. Shclty might see some Zeus in these first two maps. I don't expect to see him going, or maybe he goes Odin on Watering Hole. I don't expect to see Norse for Anatolia. It's a difficult map for Norse to win. Arctic Craters, I actually don't expect to see any Egyptian here. It's a funny map. It's really hard to expand for those two town center builds because your second town center doesn't really get yourself anything. Blue Lagoon, not sure. And Marsh, maybe another Norse if we get to that fifth series. I think Chemo is probably gonna pull out Uranus on the Arctic craters.
Yeah, I've noticed he's been playing a lot of different gods lately, so we might see him do
Mm.
something that's non-Egyptian. But what's kind of cool is as long as both players show up, they've already scheduled, and they've scheduled for Monday, 1600 GMT. So that's less than 12 hours from now. They'll be playing.
This has
So
never happened before.
that's that's a fast turnaround. They both lose this weekend, and then they are going right back at it on Monday, 1600 GMT. So I know I will be at work. I don't know if you'll be able to stream that or no, or will we need someone else?
Um, it's midnight. I might be awake. I'm gonna go strong, maybe.
Strong maybe. What does that mean?
It
Strong maybe.
means strong, maybe.
But yeah, I think I could see this series going quite a few different ways, just because both players have quite a few different gods that they could go. I mean, Kimo historically Egyptian, but been playing different, and Shclty historically Norse, but come tournaments he's played different. So we could see really a hodgepodge of gods in this matchup, which would be pretty
Yeah,
cool. Um,
that's the whole reason we did the map reveal, so that everybody knows what they're playing on, can prepare for it. You don't go into a game not knowing what map you're on, so you can pick your gods, whatever you feel strongest with on those maps. And
mhm.
that's the idea.
Yeah, so far I feel like I never really had a tournament that was quite like this with the maps preset like this, and so far I think it's gone pretty well. I, I mean, a ton every round though. I like looking at the matchups and being like, oh man, we're gonna have a lot of close matchups, and then same as this one. I mean, just so many like one-sided or seemingly one-sided. I don't know if that's because of the map sets or just because these players are better? Or I don't know, but
I think as we get to the higher tier of players, we said this before. As you get to the higher tier of players, one mistake means you lose the game. Both players don't make a mistake, the map generally wins them the game. And now, if the map is completely balanced and both players don't make a mistake, the games go on for a real long time. Um, and I think what we've seen so far is everyone is good now. And if the roles were reversed and the other player made the mistake, then it could have been playing like less good, maybe made a mistake every game. You might have seen reverse 3-0s for each of these matchups. But uh, strong mental is very important in these tournament games. So that's the big difference, making the correct decisions and pushing advantages really
yeah.
well.
And Blackadder says that what shows is practice and players who play a lot and prepare have success, which might be part of like Kimo's downfall. I'm not really sure like how much he's kind of a get on and play and play and play and then kind of whatever. I don't really know if he's like specifically training. He just that's kind of what I've always got from him. He's just kind of the guy that just kind of I'll get on and play a bunch of games and no big deal. So I don't know if he's kind of moving that for this, but and Blackadder's saying like Skady's takes this pretty seriously and
Yeah.
player is real consistent as well, but
Well, like matrciuss, for example, I know that when I was online, he was online in his own a lobby by himself, practicing build orders for the maps he was about to play on. Who does that? That's what you need to do to make sure that you're going to be consistent and play at the top level you can possibly play at. You just get used to each of the maps, play them a ton, so you work out what the spawns are like. And if you play on a map like 20 times in a row and you just did like the first 5 minutes on that map, you're not going to see very many different iterations of that map.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's not that many different ways a map spawns.
Hmm.
So if you get in there and you put in the like half an hour on each of the maps you're going to be playing on, you're going to be super prepared and not have anything surprise you.
Well, that makes sense. Makes sense. We shall see. Again, a lot of good matchups this round. My predictions are: I'm seeing player win, matrciuss win, Brickhead win, and Shclty win. Those are my 4 picks.
What did you say for? I agree with you, but what did you say for matrciuss Joe?
matrciuss. Got him
Okay.
winning. That's what I say.
I reckon Joe's going to win that one because he's not going to play Egyptian. If he plays Egyptian, I think he's going to lose.
I think
Um,
matrciuss will win.
and I think Kimo is probably going to take Shclty just because I think Shclty's a little bit not at top form.
Yeah, Kimo didn't look at top form either. So we don't know. Yeah, both definitely those. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, those are my predictions. Hello, what's up, Zebchi? You're logging on just as we are about to log off. But
I think we should talk about the way that our finals is going to work. We could do that off stream though, or we could do it now.
we we can do that off stream. But I won't actually have time to do it tonight. I gotta go to bed. I gotta be at work in the morning. But
Okay.
I gotta set up the Discord quick, and then I'll go to sleep. Maybe I'll take a look. Maybe tomorrow, same time. Well, an hour before this, same time. But we'll figure it out. But anyway, for those of you who watched tonight, spoiler alert, Subg, we're in the double elimination part of the tournament, so don't spoil it all for yourself. But had a good weekend. Quite a few good streams. We had a lot of turnout watching the streams this weekend, so that's pretty awesome. Would have liked to have seen a little bit closer series for just a little bit more drama, but as it was, still had good numbers coming out and watching the tournament this weekend, and we've got another set of 4 games this week. Again, remember that Shclty and Kimo have already scheduled for Monday at 1600 GMT. So we'll have that coming very soon. So thanks for watching, everybody. And BoIt, you got anything else to say?
Equally, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us and making this thing such an exciting community event. Without you guys, what would the point in this all be?
Well, yeah, I've gotten a lot of good comments. A lot of people have been enjoying the tournament and enjoying the stream, so I think it's gone really well. And thanks, of course, to our donor who has put out the money for the tournament and made this all possible. So thank you, Mr. Anonymous Donor. Appreciate it. And the police are coming to take me away, so. All right. Well, that'll be it for tonight, guys. So thanks for watching. We'll catch all y'all later. Remember, Shclty versus Kimo Monday, 1600 GMT. 1600? Yeah, 1600 GMT. And that's it for tonight. So thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night and good start to your week. Bye.